Peggy 16.
Sega.
For a PC game, Total War's always had fairly weak multiplayer. It's only ever been the battle part of the game.
It's been a recycled part of the game
until Napoleon, and we really never really made it a central focus. And this time we have.
It's the first time it's actually the fourth part of the game. You know,
yeah,
it's like a whole new.
Sorry, it's actually amazing fun as well.
It has a longevity to it as well, which is not something we've had before. It's not just game modes multiplayed.
The whole character development, the whole progression through the
well, you do get to crush your enemies and see them from before, you don't. That's the whole thing.
Exactly, and you get to see your own glory increase as a result.
And if you're on the network, you get to chortle at people later.
True.
And it is something that we're not sure about. You know, it's a totally brand new thing, and you know how.
I love how we always take a punt.
Well, you know what I mean?
It's just like we always just go. It's gotta be good, right?
But you have to take a punt. The first thing for us is we all know that the battles are fun, but they're 10 times more fun if there's context.
Yes.
So we have to give context.
You have to give the player some reason to care about the precise details of the result, not just whether he wins or loses.
The outcome, yeah.
So it's how many men you lose and how.
So not just pride.
Yeah.
So you need investment in
and some kind of long-term thing wrapped around those individual battles.
Yeah.
There's something very upsetting about seeing a elite unit completely annihilated by a surprise attack.
Unless it's their.
Unless it's there. At which point it's a bit like scalping someone and being like,
There's a difference between picking a random elite unit from a list that you'll have in a second battle against an elite unit you've earned.
You've looked after them.
And that you've looked after.
You've nurtured them. You've watched their skill points.
And if you lose them forever.
It's like anything else. If you give them something for free,
you don't value it as much as something you've earned.
Exactly.
So there's that kind of, over the course of time playing multiplayer, you get things and you work for them.
Yeah, and you
worked in the sense of, it's a very loose sense of the word work, but you put the time in and you've achieved it, and you feel, yeah, that's cool. I've got X, I've got Y. I've now got a big choppy sword. That's really good.
Talk about art.
Art's good.
Okay,
let's talk about art, baby.
Yeah.
Let's talk about cherry blossoms.
So with art, I mean,
leaves.
The whole way we started it was, long before we started the whole project, it was to take one of the artists and get him training how to do Japanese brush art.
Yeah. Woodblock.
Sorry, not brush. So
that's Roland McDonald.
How long did it take?
It took about 6 months.
It's good stuff, though. I mean,
it is
people have asked whether it's from museums, haven't they?
Yeah, we've actually had we have had genuine inquiries from magazines and people asking if they're allowed to print it, and they can get the museum can give them the rights, or the family that owns the art can give them the rights. And it's like, no, really, it's ours.
And throughout the entire project, we're kind of taking this, the art department is taking quite a serious stance towards art, where we've got all of the departments are really producing by far the best work that they've produced for any Total War game. I think for future projects we'll keep on top of the art and art direction, because it's really quite a big selling point. We're loving doing it.
It's the style of that period, I think. I really liked the sort of atmosphere and style of Shogun 1, and we'd not really got anything like that in any of the intervening games, and it was a chance to do art again.
He's really doing Total War games on film before we've ever even heard of Total War, or some of us were born.
If you haven't watched Seven Samurai, you haven't been paying attention.
He's got thousands of guys. He's portraying different emotions.
It's all that sort of Bran, isn't it, with the battle that's entirely silent until there's one gunshot and then the sound cuts in. It's this enormous battle that goes on forever with the castle on fire. And,
there's books as well as the Musashi books.
That's definitely the stuff that influences me the most. I actually read the Hagakure about 15 years ago, something like that, and the same thing goes for Musashi's Book of the Five Rings, and that stuff is and Sun Tzu, of course.
The Musashi books. I mean, I'm talking about the novels.
You mean the novels about?
Novels are based on the character that wrote the Book of the Five Rings. There's a whole series. There's dozens and dozens of these novels which are completely known to everybody in Japan. So they're Robin Hood effectively as Musashi.
Jack's got some on his desk.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's this. I can't remember the name
Jack is
of the
officially
website.
the holder of the most geeky thing I've ever seen done at CA. Right now, this is seriously
geeky?
right. Okay, this is super geeky. Okay, we're a company full of guys who like board games and make games about historical warfare. Okay, so this really has to take a title. And Jack, I actually once saw him creating a unit on screen. This was actually for Napoleon. He was creating a unit on screen for Napoleon, and he said something like, "17th Hussars didn't have brass buttons on the top point of their uniforms. Expelliarmus!" And then deleted it. And I was like, I literally had to stop and tell him that was the most awesome piece of geek I've ever seen in my life.
This is where Japaneseness in some way helps us out from a gameplay point of view.
Craziness.
Because when you've got all kinds of banners in the like we're saying before, you've got all the different Japanese banners, the very
UI focused.
Yeah.
But their castles as well. They actually almost deliberately put good gameplay into their castles.
It's almost like they enjoyed the battle.
They did.
It was a sense of this will be a great fighting location.
The whole idea of a Japanese castle is different to a European one. European castles are all about keep them out. Japanese ones are all about come on in if you're hard.
Have a go.
Yeah.